What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the middle-aged gamer and you guys are freaking awesome. Thank you very much for all the absolute support you've been showing. You've all been amazing and I hope that continues on in the rest of these videos because it is amazing. It's thanks to your support that I'm able to do what I'm doing here with you and making these videos. Now, with that said, let's get on with today's video. Today we're going to talk about my second major primary that I own, and that is the MK18 MOD1 Gen 2 Gbbr from VFC. There are two variants of this weapon. There is the DX version that is Asia only, that is Gen 1 internals, but comes with a tan stock and tan grip. There is this version that is able to come here to the UK and basically to be exported outside of Asia, and that is this one. Okay, this is the Gen 2. The Gen 2 has a major difference that they removed the cult markings on the receiver, so they didn't have to pay Cybergun for the license to do it. They already did it with the DX, and it cost them millions, meaning that the internals of that is Gen 1. This being the blank one, you've got higher quality internals, i.e. steel internals. So your mag release, your actual fire selector, your bolt stop release, your auto sear, your hammers, your trigger sear, all that is steel. The trigger itself is an aluminum trigger, a standard mil spec. It literally is a mil spec trigger in this gun. It's a real steel trigger. The striker that hits the back of the mag for releasing the gas, that is steel, along with all the springs and everything else internally is steel. The bolt is zinc alloy, I believe, which is great because it keeps the cost down, meaning that if you want, like I have fitted in mine, an MPAS nozzle one from VFC themselves, it'll cost you 30 quid. It's a bargain considering the other options on the market are GHK and Tokyo Marui, and the parts for them are phenomenally expensive at this moment and super hard to get outside of the UK. Now, with that being said, on a blank receiver, I'm kind of happy with that because I know that most people playing airsoft, they're not going to go running down your local field and everyone's not going to point at you going, hey, you've got no markings. They're just going to be like, hey, cool gun. It sounds amazing. That's about it, And with that being said, it doesn't matter to me. And if I'm in America and I own a MK18 myself, a real steel one or an ex-surplus one, obviously, you're going to want the right cult markings to the one that you've got. And having a blank receiver means I can take it down to a local engraver and get it engraved with the exact same copy of my real steel firearm and have a training weapon at home that I can mess around with without actually wasting lots of money on ammo, because it's very hard to get these days. Now, with that being said, you get the charging handle, which is a standard T-handle charging handle. You can swap that out for a Raptor handle, or any real steel AR charging handle will work on this gun. So if you've got a favorite, go buy it. It's fine. There's BCM ones, you name it, you can get it. You get your replica front and rear sights, which are full metal and really close to the real steel. They are nice and positive click, and you've got the full adjustable wind here for the height and windage on the side at the back, and you've got your front post one here, which is again adjustable for elevation as well. Not that you're going to need it when you get your back, but kind of counterproductive. The gun is not ambidextrous in the respect that the real steel is not ambidextrous. You do, however, get a RIS-2 Daniel Defense handguard. Now, let's see if we can get that up. I don't know if I can get those markings in. Let's see if we can get it to focus. But here along the internal sides, you can actually see the Daniel Defense markings. This is an officially licensed Daniel Defense RIS-2 handguard. Licensed enough that I thought it was actually real at one point. Silly me. But generally, for the price of this gun, it'd be daft if it was real. But it's so bloody close, both in material make and that, because it is made out of proper hardcore aircraft grade aluminum. So it's strong. You have inside the lower plate, when you remove that, you'll actually find Daniel Defense's official, licensing and a QR code that takes you directly to Daniel Defense's website as an official product. So that's really cool that you're getting the proper, because this is what makes the MK18, not this. It's the handguard. Okay, the quad handguard, trying to copy what the 416 has been doing for a long time, and even the M4, but in a smaller scale. You've got the nice 10.3 inch barrel with a 10 inch, rail system. It's really cool. Now from there, you'll go to your flash hider, which is the official MK18 flash hider. Yes, it does come with the little notch cut out here. I guess that's part of the wire cutting, or maybe a bottle opener, who knows. But underneath that is a 14mm counterclockwise thread. Now, like I say, on the other side, if we flip it over, you can see you've got your mock, forward assist. You've got your main bolt, which is phenomenal. The gun is empty. And yes, it is notched on the side, so you can actually see where this is. Quickly click that. It's really good. Now, like I say, this is a phenomenal weapon. It is one of the best GBBRs on the market. And to be honest with you, if you purchase the GHK, it will look very similar, except they'll have the cult markings that don't correctly line up properly, and you usually get a gap in the upper and lower receiver as well, depending on when it was manufactured, etc., and the batch. It's weird, like I say, quality assurance with GHK. Now, apart from that awesome weapon, you'll get your standard Stanag magazine, which is a 30-round mag, and like I say, they're really cool, they're cheap, they're £35 a piece for these on average, plus shipping. It's fully compatible with the P-mags that they make, which are, again, the same price, or you could get the HK416 mags if you own one of them. I do. They work, and if you're on the BCM one, you can use their mags on this. So it's really cool how you can use all the different types of mags, and they range from 30 quid up to 80 quid for the BCM, I believe, and the HK is in the middle, around about the 50 to 60 pounds mark. Apart from that, you get your usual instruction manual, your little safety thing, a speed loader, and an Allen key. The Allen key is to adjust your hop. So if we yeet this stuff out the way, and let's see if I can get it on camera. I'm not sure if I can, but here we go. Let's try. Oh, no, the light's out. But just down here, there's a little Allen key slot. So you put that down there to the gas block and adjust your hop. You don't have to disassemble it like the GHK to move a little wheel inside the upper receiver. So that's kind of cool. And of course, having an Allen key, everyone likes Allen keys, I guess. We have enough of them with every gun. So with that being said, let's take this to the chronograph and let's give it a good test. I'm using 0.2 gram BBs and green gas. Okay, let's put a target in there and scooch back to around about 15 meters or so. You see QB, and let's see how it performs on the accuracy side. Scoot this out the way. Okay. Come on, in you go. Let's see what we got. Wow, that's awesome. Okay guys, we're back from the chronograph test. It's awesome. If it wasn't so cold and my hands didn't shake so much outside, I would have kept that group a lot tidier. On average, this shoots around about a 1.5 to 2 inch grouping, which is not bad for a GBBR with the kick it has. It really thumps you in the shoulder. It's quite nice. Obviously, there's only one thing I know out there that hits you more, and that's either, two things, sorry. That's the real steel or something like a Viper Tech that will actually hit you harder. The trouble is, with airsoft, the stronger the recoil, the more damage it does on the internals, meaning the more higher maintenance you're going to have. Now, speaking of which, let's have a look at this internals and a quick look, as they say. I do plan on doing a video on this rifle of how to clean them and that. If you like to see that, of how to clean GBBRs or pistols or what have you, just let me know in the comments below and I will see about getting that done soon. So we'll pop the pin, as always, and as you can see, you can open it up. Okay, now, inside you have your full auto sear, steel, like I say. You have your bolt catch release, that's all steel. Your hammer is steel. Your trigger, like say, sear and disconnector down there is all steel. The springs are steel. It's a freaking brilliant internal system, and it is close. You can actually use single stage mil-spec triggers in this gun. It is completely correct. The pinholes align correctly, as you can see. I bought off Brownell's some actual anti-warp pins just because I wanted that look for the Mark 18. The ones that came with it were steel, but I just wanted that look, you know. We'd all play Call of Duty and, or what's it called, Ghost Recon, and we all want that sort of like finish. We've seen them in the movies, so we want to copy that. And so I got them for 20 quid from Brownell's. They fit, you know. Whereas I know with the GHK, you're going to have to drill them or have modifications made to them. Now, as you can see, hammer is amazing and works. Like say, so it's just stunning. Now, like say with the back, you can pull out the bolt and the charging handle comes out. As you can see, the bolt is really authentically replicated. And like I say, this is not the original bolt that came with it though. I will show you the original bolt. That is this one. This one came in the gun, and this are identical, barring two things. This one has an MPAS, this one does not. This one being from Hong Kong, again, it was one of those roll of the dice. If they've got the MPAS's ones, they will fit them. They didn't on mine, so I ended up getting the standard one, but that's like 410 FPS. Being in the UK, I needed site legal. So I contacted VSC and purchased one of these. It is a MPAS Gen 2 nozzle that works perfectly fine inside the bolt carrier. It comes with the complete assembly for 30 quid. You can't argue at that, and it works. And you just shove a little Allen key, I think it's a 1.3mm Allen key down the nozzle, turn it anti-clockwise to increase the speed, turn it clockwise to decrease it. It's that simple. Now, like I say, the hot chamber inside this thing is aluminum. Down in here, you got full aluminum metal, as you say, hot chamber, and the bucking in there is Marui spec. The inner barrel is Marui spec. The outer barrel has been cut specifically to fit a standard gas blowback barrel without any play, so it doesn't wobble all over the place. The inner barrel goes all the way up to the actual threads, which is brilliant for length. You get a nice, good length out of it. The gas block being at the front means you get a really positive, how would I say, hop adjustment that stays and it is secure. It's not being hit inside or impacted down here with the hot wheels like normal, okay? So you're not constantly having to keep adjusting it. Once you've done it, it pretty much stays the same. This gun itself has had more than 19,000 rounds through it since I purchased this gun. It has been absolutely a phenomenal piece of kit. So if we put the charging handle in, put the bolt back, there you go, lock that in, done. And like I say, you can just pop that down there, click that like that, and away we go. So yeah, it's really good. Now obviously some of the other extra furniture I put on is the Surefire S600 clone, which is perfect, came with a paddle switch, which works. You've got your angled foregrip, obviously the rail covers, and I put the CQD sling mount because that's correct to the real steel. They use a CQD sling at the front, and you've got your one at the back, which will, you connect the rear at the opposite side, front one here, and it allows the gun to stay a bit more stable when strapped across here. It's a lot more easier to, how to say, manipulate. But yeah, all in all, it is an absolutely phenomenal gun. This thing is just absolutely amazing, and the value for money is there. I mean, you actually retail with all the import duties and so on. You can pick one of these up for about 430 quid, and out the box you can just go run and gun. Now, obviously, you know, if you need an MPAS nozzle, it's 30 quid. It's not going to break the bank. If you need an inner barrel, it's any gas blowback inner barrel will fit for a rifle. It works. You know, the bookings are standard. There's none proprietary like with many brands out there. It's just quite a good gun. And with the recoil spring inside the buffer tube is weighted as well. So you do get that anti-bolt, or anti-bounce weight inside it, which is brilliant, and it does its job very well. And like I say, you get a satisfying thump. it's one of those that if it wasn't accurate, I'd still be happy. But because it really is absolutely accurate out of the box, you know, this thing is phenomenal. The quality of the paintwork, considering I've had it a year and it's just dust and fingerprint marks, you know, and very little markings on it, even though it's been slung over my gear, run through the indoor arenas all the time, you know. This thing is really good. And like I say, it sort of like completes my sort of like AR set, as I own this and I do own a 416, which I plan on doing a video on soon. But, you know, this is just phenomenal. If you don't like the stock that comes with it, the sock mod, swap it out. If you want the Magpul, just put a real steel Magpul on there. It's fine. It fits all the real steel furniture. And like I say, hammer and trigger set, it'll fit. They do sell a two-stage trigger now from Gbbr, I believe. That's about £70. But, you know, that's something to look into if you're into a dual stage, you know. It's all a case of one of those. You can do what you wish to do. And the good thing is, it's, like I say, it's there for the shooter, let's say. You know, for the avid airsoft who wants that collection. And the Mark 18 is one of those weapons that it completes your picture, because everyone loves the AR. But with that being said, this gun is absolutely phenomenal. Like I say, it saved my bacon a lot of times. It's just been phenomenal, and I do highly recommend it to you guys out there. Obviously, I do not like CO2 ones of these, because, like I say, when I hear in the comments, they bought an Umarex 416 that's CO2. It's not made by VFC, even though you think it is. And it just, CO2 is just crap in gas blowbacks. Whenever you use CO2, yeah, you get a punchy kick for a while, but it puts so much stress on the internals, they break. And, you know, that's not the gun's fault, that's the manufacturer's fault in a respect, yeah. And it's also, like I say, you know, it's just the platform in that respect. A gas blowback should be able to run on green gas, no problem. And like I say, it's down to the design of it and how they've designed this weapon, putting all the money, instead of on silly Colt markings, which nowadays most people want the new Daniel Defense ones, because, like I say, Colt do no longer supply the receivers for the army anymore. That's now Daniel Defense for the Mark 18s, and very soon it's going to be SIG with the SIG Spear and the Spear LTs and all that. So, you know, it's a case of Colt is fine, but, you know, you have it blank, you can put what the hell you like on it, and that is just brilliant. So, you like this video? I hope it's done you all, you know, cheered you up in that with the airsoft world. It is really good, and it's something to look out for. I've been the Middle Aged Gamer. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next one.